Hello, Delvers. It's great to have you on board this afternoon for episode 5 of Burning Shores with a Therapist. This will be a little bit of a shorter episode than you're used to, but it still should be a good one because we're going to hang with my pal Gilden, and I'm very excited about that. You should also be a pal. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, follow the links in the description. Thank you very much for supporting this playthrough. Let's go. Why can't I hear? That's why. All right, go to the locked door. All right, Gilden. Let's get after it, bud.
Welcome to my humble temporary abode.
Nice place.
Indeed. Would have loved to share this discovery with Olar. Regrettably, I tumbled into the sea as the ruin entered our sights. But imagine my joy discovering my lanterns in this tunnel. Presuming me dead, Olar put them to good use. So resourceful.
I can only imagine what we're gonna find down here.
Find something?
If you've heard my call, you're close to safety, or at least the closest thing to safety. You're probably wondering if you can trust a strange voice coming from a tunnel, so I'll level with you since I got nobody left to level with, and hell, you probably don't even exist. We'd been getting pounded. Every day another slugfest against the bots. Then out of nowhere our evac order came in. Immediate. No time to prepare. My crew was tasked with closing up. I was taking inventory of the surplus. Stepped out for a few minutes and then they were gone. Orders were to dump any unnecessary weight. Guess after the accident and what happened with my leg, that's me. To be honest, I won't miss my squad. They weren't much fun. Kind of the worst, really. But spending the last of my days alone, I didn't have clearance to disable security altogether, but I managed to change the code to my birthday. It's January 17th. Don't worry, you don't have to give me anything. Jeez.
Well, there's a passcode left behind by one of the old ones. He was alone here. He broadcast the recording, hoping others would join him.
Did anyone come?
Not sure.
This is where that dastardly lever was lurking.
But let's not pull any more levers.
Let's go back down.
And here I present our hinged hindrance, the finale of our grand tour.
Yep, definitely blocked.
Not my first impassable obstacle. Ha-ha! Finally in! Crumbling stone, malodorous mildew, a delver's dream.
Looks like someone tried to blast into that room across the way.
Olar's never been stingy on the blast paste.
You know, Gilden is... I think Gilden is such an interesting character. I personally really like him. But I think if I was younger, I probably wouldn't have. And I've been thinking about, like, what would I offer in terms of an analysis on Gilden? And it gives me a little bit of an opportunity to talk about temperament, which is something that's genetically linked. So your personality First of all, there's really not a such thing as personality. It's just an abstract construct that we try to use to understand who and what we are. But personality it's a subjective thing. It was created by humans to understand things. Temperament, however, how you present, your excitability, like your levels of physiological arousal when there's inputs from the environment and stuff, it does have some level of genetic link. Not to say that a person can't develop a more calm temperament or a more excitable temperament or whatever, but ultimately, your temperament is something that you don't necessarily fully control. Some people who present like Gilden, you can say that the reason that Gilden is so gregarious and why he carries himself with such energy is because of his temperament. He's just a naturally gregarious dude with lots of gravitas. And that will show through regardless of what it is that comes his way. There might be times where that gets mitigated. There might be times where it's exacerbated. But ultimately, Gilden is going to present that way regardless of where he is, in part because that's just what his temperament is. That is certainly one possibility. There's another possibility that we will never know the answer to. And I want to make sure that I say out front here that I'm not saying that this is the case. Nor am I saying that this is the explanation that you should go to anytime you meet somebody like Gilden. Which is that Gilden might have a tough past. Where maybe his parents were not particularly available to him. Maybe they were not very effusive. Maybe they didn't exist. Sometimes we can look at behavior like Gilden's where he is loud and boisterous and positive and just kind of in your face with it, but not in a way that's like it's not self-indulgent. It's just how he presents. Sometimes that's the compensation of a kid who needs to vie for attention in an environment that doesn't really give it. Sometimes it's a compensation for a lack of that energy in your environment, and that person with their temperament and with that environment takes it upon themselves to inject that energy. Some people come from an environment where that's the type of thing that's facilitated, and that's how you survive the environment. There's any number of developmental factors that may contribute to why somebody like Gilden exists. So I like Gilden, and there's also a part of me that wonders, has Gilden seen some shit? Does Gilden feel a compulsion to be as gregarious as he is a means to overcompensate for some of the negative that might be happening around him? We'll never know the answer to that, but I just find him to be very interesting in that way. And as a kid, I would have found that annoying. As an adult, I look at that and I with a lot more empathy and think, good for him that he can maintain that. I hope he doesn't feel pressure to maintain that for himself. I hope that it's okay for him sometimes to calm down and to engage with some softness or some sadness.
This control panel's fried.
Dr. Mick, why would you want somebody to experience sadness? Because you have to experience them all. You can't selectively mute them. If you do, try, you'll mute all of them.
The old ones must have loved spending time underground to build these tunnels. Must have been great delvers.
These probably weren't underground, Gilden.
Yep. This pile of rubble is definitely an Olar special.
Well, the path's blocked now. We'll have to find another... I can't reach that ledge.
I'd give you a boost, but my knees aren't what they used to be.
Alright. What do we got here, Gilden?
We might be able to move this train car. Can I, get some help?
Anything you need.
All right, let's push.
The joys of locomotion.
Thanks, buddy.
Did you hear that?
Yep. Let's keep our guard up.
Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up
Door needs a code and key module. Hang tight down there. I'll look around.
No worthwhile delve is free of its devilish challenges.
Could check this vent, see what I find.
Best of luck. Personally, I've always been more proficient at losing things than finding them. You name it, I misplaced it. Hammers, shards, my pet crab, Garoon. Glad falling into the sea.
He must have been such a fun character to write and to be the voice actor for. He's just, oh, he's so great.
I need your help with another card upstairs, Gilden. I'll find you an easier way up.
My arms are at your service.
I gotta push the crate into here, perhaps. Gilden would make a great D&D player.
I see you haven't lost your knack for hazardous traversal.
No, sir.
Whoa! Oh, you're fine. Of course.
Our old world friends left us another code.
Bean counter. Hey, Ron! How many cans of baked beans with bland labels and blander flavor do we have left? I don't know, Ron. Why don't you count them, Ron? Oh, go on, Ron. I think I will. 1,247, Ron. Gee, that seems like an awful lot of beans for one Ron. You know, Ron, I agree. You seem like you're doing great adjusting to solitude, Ron. Ron, thank you for nothing. Thank you for noticing. Is this supposed to be funny, Ron? Maybe that's why they left you, Ron. Oi. Yeah, people will do this in isolation. Humans are relational animals. Solitary confinement is torture. It goes against everything our biological mandate has as mammals. And you will actually see people talk to themselves in this way if they are in isolation for a long period of time as a means to try to facilitate some sort of abstract relationship. It's a very common thing to see. You'll see kids do it if they're on their own. You'll see folks like, unfortunately unhoused folks. You'll see that oftentimes if they're in isolation. People will do that. 2247, I'm guessing, is the code.
A true gentleman. I'll bet plenty of people answered his call.
It doesn't look like it.
Oh, dear.
This does. Huh. Moves the elevator. Hey, Gilden! Hop in!
Alrighty! Mind sending that elevator back down for old Gilden?
I got you, boss.
Is this safe?
It's safe enough.
I mean, as the OSHA inspector on board.
What a splendid abundance of parts. Shall we get to pushing?
Well, that fell right down. Yeah, right. Is this safe, says the guy who
How do you suppose they went about creating these tunnels? By hand? Blast paste? Plow horn, perhaps?
Yes, it was definitely plow horns. There's a little taste of inductive reasoning. Right there. He doesn't have the knowledge of the old ones. He doesn't understand that these were skyscrapers. These were not built into the ground. These were built up. Or even if they were built down into the ground, they would have had machines that he can't even fathom. So he uses his own experience to try to make sense of how this would have happened. It's awesome. It's you can't fault him for that. You can't say like, you idiot.
All right.
They
Push!
used excavators and explosives.
Oh boy! This cart's squealing worse than a boar on Smith East's Eve.
Is that right?
There's that noise again.
It sounds like it's closer.
Why are we pushing the rail car that direction? It might be underground, and so even if it's not a skyscraper that's buried, like even if it is underground, the point still stands, is that he doesn't have the knowledge to understand how this would have actually gone.
Ah. Okay, maybe there's a way with less.
And that's fine.
Falling.
That doesn't make him stupid. This is the way, but why are we not?
I could use that cart on the upper floor to climb higher. Need to find a way on top of it first.
Yeah, so we should be able to push this more. There's a whole tunnel, unless the track is effed up. Which it doesn't look like it is. Right? Like this should be able to go all the way in here.
If only we had the good fortune to stumble upon another metal crate.
Oh.
Or we could bring the one we've got upstairs.
Oh, we sure could. Hmm. Makes sense to me.
Hey, Gilden, think you can get to the elevator controls?
You mean climb across? Sure.
So, how did you and Olvar team up?
Traveling with a caravan. Yeah, he was prickly at first. Till I told him about Mom. Her priceless looking glass. And how I found one just like it.
He was interested in your looking glass?
He's an inquisitive mind. You two will be tighter than two nuts on a bolt. Ha ha! Still got it. All right, let's give this crank a whirl. Ready to go?
Don't let go of that wheel. Don't let go of that wheel, boss. Now you
There.
good shit.
I'll wait by these controls. I've had enough acrobatics for one day.
Okay.
Let's blast this open.
Olvar would be proud.
Got a
I
blast.
can get the key module now.
Brilliant! Ha! Even the cavern's rumbling with excitement. Oh! I've got a good shot!
Jesus, look at that aim. Spray and pray. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, I have 600 bullets. Oh my goodness.
Come on, come on!
Another one down! Well done!
barrel getting hot.
Make scrap out of that!
Whoa, how the hell did you get up here?
That's what I needed. Okay, I think that was all of them. Let's keep going.
One step closer to Olvar!
Wish there was a collect all. Good enough.
Bring me up, Gilden.
Aye, aye!
Thanks, Gilden. Okay. Insert Ron's key module. Right, it was 2247, wasn't it?
Wrong code.
It was the beans. God damn it, dude.
Okay, send me up.
Up you go!
Gilden, read me that. Oh wait, I have that. What am I doing, dude? I have it in here. Where is it? Dude, and all the time it's gonna... Oh, jeez. Oh, here we go. 1,247. 1247, not 2247.
We're in! Olvar must be wondering what all the commotion was about. Did you find something?
For Ron. I'm gathered here today for the funeral of my good and recent friend Ron. Ron saved my life. The very last days of them, at least. I was taking care of my grandfather when the military evacuation was called. I didn't think he'd last so long without power to his life support, but he did. I couldn't leave him behind. When I finally tried to get out, everyone was gone. I roamed the city for hours before I heard Ron's message. Honestly, the idea of spending the last of my days with a weird bunker man was not something I would have predicted being cool with, but I guess it was better than the alternative. Ron made the most of every day I knew him. One night we went bean can bowling down the shafts. The next day we took the cargo carts for a joyride. Then the air turned bad. We switched to emergency oxygen. When that ran out, we started breathing the tanks the med team left behind. He spent his last few days watching old hollows of Santa Monica kitchen wars. Ron gave me the last tank. He said he needed me to see the season finale. Apparently it's a draw dropper. That's the kind of person he was. Thank you, Ron. Your friend of the end, Brienne.
This data. The soldier didn't write it. His
Guess
friend
our
did.
friend found someone after all. No sign of Olar, though.
We'll keep looking.
I'm getting less...
We fire that off in confined spaces, do we?
Oh boy.
Think I've consumed a few too many ale-braised peccaries to squeeze in there, but... Let me know what you find.
This must be Olar.
Not gonna like what I find. Wait, is Olvar a machine?
Looks like he barricaded himself in, but one borrowed past.
Oh no, there he is. Okay, I was like, wait a second, that's not Olvar. Oh boy.
Cold. He's been here a while. His explosives must have attracted burrowers. Is that? He stole Gilden's looking glass. It's probably when he pushed him off the boat. How am I gonna break this to Gilden?
You're just gonna tell him the truth. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna let Gilden draw whatever conclusions he needs.
See you there? Or are you doing that thing where you talk to yourself?
You tell the truth. You just give the facts. You do not have to give interpretation. You don't do any of that. You literally just say, I went in there. Olvar's in there. He's laying down. He is not alive. And he was holding a looking glass. And you let Gilden process it. You let Gilden take it in. You let him have whatever emotional experience he's going to have. And then you say, hey, I'm here for whatever you need, man. I'm sorry to have to deliver that news. But you don't sugarcoat it. You don't give your interpretation. You don't qualify it by putting a whole bunch of filler in front to try to pad it and make him feel better. You are going to deliver shitty news to him, deliver it directly and clearly, and speak to the facts. The amount of times people beat around the bush on this kind of thing and it ends up causing more problems than good is often. So if you're ever in this position, please take that advice. Save yourself and other people a world of hurt.
I shouldn't keep Gilden waiting.
Sucks to have to be the person to deliver that kind of news, but...
There she is! A delver like no other, I must say. Well, let's hear it. So, any sign of my elusive partner?
Gilden... Olvar didn't make it. Machines got him. I found him holding this.
My looking glass. But how?
This isn't going to be easy to hear, but... I think he...
He really did care. He knew how special this was to me. That has to be why he held on to it.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Aloy almost messed it up. I could not have teed that up more perfectly. This is exactly why I say do not interpret. Aloy saying that he stole it is an interpretation. The fact is, he died, and that was on his person. You let Gilden make whatever meaning out of that he wants to make. Gilden sees that, and he goes, it must mean he cared about me. He knows how much it meant to me. He took it in that direction, and that is his right. Aloy almost messed that up. So, I've made my point. I rest my case.
I was in his thoughts until the very end.
You know what, Gilden? I'm sure you're right. That is how you should remember him. And at least this way, you know what happened to him.
Yeah. You're right. Better a delve ended than never began, after all. Just a whole heap of rotten luck. Right when I finally found someone to be my friend. That's the way the hammer falls, I guess. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. Truth be told, I never had a lasting friend. I mean, when your own mum doesn't like you enough to stick around, why would anyone else? I'm really starting to think I might go my whole life like this.
Oh my God. I promise you I had no idea that was coming. When I was standing in the elevator shaft and said what I said. Holy crap. I mean, there it is. He's charismatic. He's gregarious. He is positive. And some of that is because that's the kind of energy he thinks he has to put out there in order for people to care about him and want to be his friend. He was left. His mom left him. I don't know if it's because she died or because she left or what. But that will make a kid think they're not good enough. Kids will personalize that 100 times out of 100. Because that's the way that kids think. They don't have the brain capacity to get real complicated and nuanced about it. So what we love so much about Gilden is something that is founded in pain and loss. So he gets close to somebody or thinks he's getting close to somebody and he died. And he doesn't get to have any kind of closure around that, which is, again, why I really believe it is so deeply important for him to make his own meaning out of this. Not for Aloy to spin this in the direction she was going to spin it. Because he's dead. He's never going to be able to say whether he cared about Gilden or not. So if it's healthier for Gilden to carry this idea that he was cared for and that he mattered, when he has spent a life wondering if he matters, that's a huge deal. That's a really big deal. And it's not, you're not lying to him by facilitating that or letting him go in that direction. That's not false. That's not blowing sunshine up his ass, so to speak. That's letting him make whatever meaning out of this he needs to. But yeah, man, that's rough. It's really rough. But we're seeing the soft side I was talking about. A life of wondering if anybody actually likes you is not a fun one. And carrying yourself in such a way that is a compensation for that can get exhausting. So I love that he at least feels comfortable enough to soften in front of Aloy here. If you're Aloy in this position, this is absolutely facilitating a high degree of intimacy with Gilden. Not romantic intimacy, just intimacy. She's bearing witness to a really significant vulnerability for him right now. And her presence is important. And you do not need to say anything. You don't need to make it better. You don't need to fix it. You just need to be there. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you are ever in a position like this, do not underestimate the power of your presence. That matters more than anything you think you might need to say.
No matter what I do, what I say, in the end, I'll be inevitably all alone.
Hey, that is not true. You'll always have me, Gilden. And I might not be with you all the time, but there is a way for us to stay in touch.
Hell
Like
yeah.
this.
One of your tiny wonders?
It's called a focus. You put it on up here, like this.
Whoa! Sparks to steel. Look at that. And that. Over there, too. What a thing of beauty. No idea what it all means. But a dazzle all the same.
I will put you in touch with some friends of mine. They'll help you get up to speed on using the focus. And I meant what I said. If you ever really need me, give me a call. I'll always help a friend.
Yes. Oh man. Oh. That makes me so happy. Welcome in, O ye Deckards. Thank you so much for the raid. I am DrMick. I'm a licensed therapist, and I analyze video games, and I'm about to do some more analyzing of what has been a very cool scene, so strap in. Here's a little snapshot of what I do. Huge moment for Gilden. Huge. And one that presents him with a difficult opportunity. Because we might look at this as viewers and go, oh, this is awesome. Aloy just said, you're my friend. I'm here for you always. Here's a focus. Call me if you need me. And a lot of us might look at that and go, sweet. That's awesome. Perfect. Do that. What an amazing thing that Aloy has done for Gilden. But we got to go back to talking about projection. We got to go back to the ways in which people's core narratives about themselves put certain lenses on how they view things like this. And this is not me looking for the worst in Gilden. This is me. It's like, if I'm his therapist, I'm cautioning him on this. Not cautioning him. I'm like giving him a heads up on this. That he has spent his life with a sense that he's not good enough, that he'll be alone. His mom left him. His friends have died or disappeared. And he has begun to construct an identity around the idea that he will die alone, that nobody wants him, nobody cares, nobody's interested. So when Aloy presents an experience for him that runs counter to that, it may feel good. He may lean into it. He is seemingly leaning into it, which means that it's something that he longs for, and tells me that he does possess a degree of self-worth to know that this is something that he wants and now has access to. But he has to be very careful not to indulge his prior assumptions about this experience, which would mean that he might say something like, she didn't mean that. She was just saying that to make me feel better. When she goes our separate ways, she's going her separate way because I'm not somebody she wants to be around. I'm insufferable. When she tells me that I can call her anytime, I'll be burdening her if I do that. These are the types of things that people will absolutely believe about themselves and indulge if they are so heavily hooked to that kind of narrative and sense of self. And will prevent him from reaching out to Aloy and engaging with her as she has told him that he is allowed to do, that there is no boundary there. And he could miss out on the opportunity to have a long-lasting, meaningful relationship with Aloy as a result of that, because he's getting in his own way because of all of these prior constructs to this experience. So if you're a person who maybe struggles with connecting with others, who has some sense that you're burdensome, whether it's something you learned from childhood, whether it's something that you just have picked up along the way, when you have somebody who genuinely is interested in showing you some connection, do not shoot yourself in the foot by assuming that that person is operating under the assumption that you're not worthy and that they're just placating you. You also want to be mindful not to smother that person because this is something that you have been looking forward to. You still want to respect that person's autonomy and space, but you don't want to shut that down just because you're worried that maybe she's lying to you because she's just trying to get out of that situation or whatnot. So Aloy really giving him that focus and saying, stay engaged with me, and I've got other friends, and you're welcome to come and be along with that. Lean into it, Gilden. Lean into it, dude. Because it's a real opportunity for you to see your worth and to see that you are somebody that's desirable to have around, and that the fact that your friends have died along the way and that your mom left you wasn't your fault. You didn't have any, it's not your fault. Unless your friend specifically told you they left because they didn't want to be around you. Do not make that assumption. It's great stuff, man. What a great character. An awesome little side quest here. Makes me so happy. Seriously, those of you that are sticking around from the Deckert's raid, thanks so much for hanging around. I do this with a lot of popular games. I encourage you to check out my YouTube channel and everything else. I hope that you all had a wonderful stream. If you don't follow the Deckerts, please make sure, if you're here with me on Twitch, that you go do that. If you're on YouTube, go follow their channel as well. They've got really good stuff out there. They're good friends of the stream. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, thanks for sticking around. I pause games a lot. I do also want to say that this is a spoiler-free run and a backseating-free run, so please don't tell me where to go or what to do or give me any information I don't already have. I pause the game a lot to analyze it, and I hope you'll enjoy that.
Before you skedaddle out of here, I've got something for you, too. Figured you'd find a better use for it than me.
Thanks, Gilden. Until we meet again.
Yeah. Yeah. Gilden's awesome, man. Oh, what a great... Seriously, what a great side quest. Excellent stuff, man. Really excellent stuff.
Hey, Gaia. I just gave a focus to a friend of mine. Can you make sure he's patched into our network? And maybe check in on him now and then? He could use someone to talk to.
Certainly. I am happy to converse with him whenever he wishes.
Hello? Hello? Is this thing working?
Hello, Gilden. Let us continue our conversation on another frequency.
Whoa! Who was... Wait. Don't tell me. Another friend of a certain flame-haired Nora? By the Forge, this is gonna be marvelous.
Indeed it will.
Thanks, Gaia.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. Oh, man. Such a perfectly, like, Gilden way to start that, too. It's so great.
Moonshine. Valuable stuff.
Seriously, man. It's, you know, sometimes if you're on the Aloy end of this, really putting some of that extra energy and effort in to help that person feel more comfortable and integrated into your group is very important. And if you're Gilden, yeah, like, give it a shot, embrace it, don't get in your own way. And I love that he is leaning into it. It's great. Really great. I could just tell, though, that he had some kind of sad past. I could just feel it. So. Cool. That was very excellent. Now, I would say... I kind of want to go take out that outpost. Go do that.
Ooh, steady there.
And the moral of that story is you never know why a person cares about the things they do, values what they value, why they show up the way that they do. You can learn more about them over time as you facilitate like closeness with them and you're reliable and around. But none of us really like the idea of being taken on face value. Even if it's something that's really engaging and likable, it doesn't mean that Gilden is just Mr. Positivity all the time. There are soft spots, and not that you have to immediately go after them, but acknowledging them and being there and validating them and being present for it can make a really huge difference for facilitating that kind of intimacy. So I would say that Aloy handled that well.
I can do it, tables.
I need help! Aloy! Ancestor, guide my aim! Oh no!
The hell? Oh shit. Oh shit, there's a guy behind me. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa.
No!
Yes.
I want
Why would the cultists fight Aloy? If she's a living ancestor? Oh, because they're not Quen anymore.
my aim is...
They are devotees to Walter. And if Walter Landra gave the kill command to Aloy, they're gonna follow it.
These Quen were like the ones I fought in Landra's bunker. Irrational and out for blood.
Yep.
I gotta keep my guard up. Might be more holdouts scattered in the wilds.
Yep. For weeks now, nothing but burning, hot rage rising inside me. Every sound is under my skin, bright and glaring. Make it stop! If anyone gives me one more damn luck, I will end them. Sick of them bossing me around, tell me what to do. Go here, be quiet, do this, I answer, only to Walter. All of it, the noise, the rain, the leaves, the damned birds screeching, the constant chatter I need to make them shut up. Woke up, knuckles covered in blood, not mine. Walter, where are you? What's happening to me? Yeah, all Aloy is just an intruder for the Quen. They also didn't likely see what happened in the bunker. Right? Like these are the divine, or these are the people that were taken to a separate location as well. Damn it.
An abandoned camp. These Othram might have come here to delve. But machines got to them.
Whoa. Wait, what is this? Delver's camp. Wait. There's something here for me? Non-standard delving contract written in a barely legible hand, heavily smeared in ink. After the depth of the camp guards, both the purpose and plunder of the caravan have been renegotiated. The Tinburn brothers forfeit their claim because Brimshine before Captain died. In exchange, the rest of the crew agree to stay in the burning shores to help the brothers find, and the directions to its burial site are distributed between the crew Tinburns. 3B. Each crew member will keep their directions secret. Any Brimshine found in the distributed among the co-signees. Half will go to the Tinburns. Burns will give lead to the group to signed in Spit and Waldo Stonecutter. Yeah, it does. Sounds like the trash emails I get from TikTok brands. I can't tell if there's like something I'm supposed to do here. I'm guessing not. All right.
This equipment's been abandoned for some time. Looks awesome. If they were delving, they might have left something valuable behind.
Oh, yeah? Yeah? I ain't gonna worry too much about it. Go take these mofos out.
Again?
Boom. Death from above.
Oh, I have you. Get up.
Burning through ammo quickly!
A gift for you. You'll suffer for that.
Will I? Oh! Almost did. Almost suffered.
That's all of them. Another outpost taken care of.
Easy peasy, baby. Okay, so we got another boat down there. People criticize this for not enough content. Get out of here. If anybody criticizes this for not being enough content, cannot be appeased. What do you think? Should I roll up on her in a skiff? I think I should.
Let's get going.
Yeah, baby.
Might be getting too close to the tower. Better steer clear.
Here we go. We rolling up.
Let's leave it here.
Hard to believe all this might just end.
Yeah, I feel pretty bad about just dropping that on you.
At least you were honest. Because I haven't been honest with you.
Really? No way. Would have never guessed.
Those paintings we saw in Laundra's old building. I recognize the style. My sister painted them. She's one of them.
Figured.
One of his followers.
Oof.
I wanted to hide it from you. Or hide it from myself, maybe. She's gone. I've lost her. And I feel like I've lost my tribe, too. Now you tell me that the world is ending? What am I supposed to do with all that?
Seyka.
What's the point?
Great question.
Seyka, I completely understand why you wouldn't tell me that. It's okay. But your sister, your people, they are a part of you. Nothing can change that. You have to fight for them. To save them from Laundra, but maybe even to save them from themselves, and you will. That's just you. That's part of what makes you... great.
I don't know about all that. Like, it's fine. My sister joined a cult. My people lack direction. And the world's ending. What does it all mean? What's the point? That's a great question. Absolutely the types of questions that if I was Seyka, I would be asking myself. Absolutely. That kind of thing shakes you to your core. Really starts to bring into the forefront the idea that so much of what makes life meaningful for us is the idea that we've decided that life is meaningful in the first place. So when you have loved ones and friends and community that you are separate from and you don't feel connected to, that can be a pretty awful experience. And then if you find out that no matter what you do and who you jump after and who you try to protect, that it's not ultimately going to matter because Magaball from hell is on its way to Earth. Yeah, hard to get your hopes up. So, Aloy, she's doing her best, okay? Not trying to be critical of Aloy. Yeah, so many people don't know what to do in this situation. I'm not saying that I'm the arbiter of amazingness as it relates to what you do with this, but you're so much better off hearing what she has to say and acknowledging her hurt and frustration and then just asking her what that's like for her to consider rather than trying to jump in and be Ms. Motivation and try to talk her up with some stuff that comes from Aloy's personal life and point of view. I think we're hearing a bit of what Aloy has had to do in order to get herself to feel any kind of connection and interest in saving the world. Like, oh, well, you got to help these people even when they can't help themselves. You got to be the bastion of righteousness. You don't have to. Is it sad what Walter Landra has done to pull people into the cult? It sure is. At the end of the day, Seyka's sister joining that cult is still a decision that's on her. She is still responsible for that decision. And it's something that is hard for a person in Seyka's position to empathize with or get on board with, because if people make decisions you don't agree with, it can be very hard to endorse them. You don't have to endorse them, but you do have to acknowledge that that was a decision made autonomously. Now, if she got like kidnapped, That would be one thing. If she willingly joined, it sucks to have to acknowledge. Or the best analog for this is like if you have a sibling that joins a multi-level marketing scheme, you're like, oh my gosh, I've lost them. It can be very easy to get mad at the MLM. It can get very like mad at the company, the whole 9 yards. But it's like some of that anger and some of that frustration can be directed toward the specific person. Your sister made a choice that you don't like. Your people go in directions you don't like. And you've spent so much time attaching your identity as sister and Quinn that when you see those people and groups move in directions that don't feel right for you, it creates a really nasty form of dissonance where you ask yourself, like, what do I do with that? Do I continue to identify with these people? Do I continue to hang out with them? Or do I go my own way, which is an infinitely more dangerous way to navigate this world? So I have to believe that Seyka to some extent is inspired by Aloy, but she doesn't have her entire history. But even Aloy doesn't do it all alone. Aloy has had to find a way to surround herself by the people from different groups that do matter to her and have utility in fighting the good fight. But to step in and be like, you got to fight for these people, you got to find meaning. The people that you literally just said to me are people you don't feel connected with. Trying to push her into fighting on their behalf is something that may work, but it would be a better piece of advice to give her if you asked her first what's going on for her and got more information about her experience, rather than making that assumption and drawing from your own and putting that on her. Aloy's doing her best. She's trying to be empathic. She's trying to be inspirational. She said it's what makes you great. I also think she's trying to express how she feels about Seyka in a vulnerable moment, which maybe not the best timing in the world, but is what it is. We'll see how Seyka responds.
Look, you don't have to do it alone. Okay? I will help you, I promise.
That came from a good piece of empathy. Oh, oops. Our boobs touched.
Okay.
Okay.
We need to find a way onto that peninsula.
The currents are too strong for swimming.
Yeah. And if we fly or take your skiff, that tower will knock us out.
I was thinking, there's a machine that can fly and dive below the surface.
I need to pay attention to what they're saying, and I can't after the way. Oh, it's so heavy-handed. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. All right.
Waterwing.
I thought you said the towers blasted a bunch of them out of the sky.
Yeah. But if we were riding one, maybe we could do better. Time our dives to duck below shots from the tower.
That'd be sick as hell.
Can that spear of yours tame one?
No. Not yet, at least. Are there any water wings left? Do you think you could find one?
There have been a few sightings since we took down the first tower. I could ask around the settlement.
Okay, let me know when you have a lead. In the meantime, I'll work on the override.
Gotta admit, I'm not exactly looking forward to the ride.
Sounds like you're not one to generally ride. Neither am I. We
Seyka
can
seems
not
better.
ride together.
Good. We're good. Okay. Can't get distracted from the task at hand. Gonna need some support for this one. Hey, Beta? I need your help. Do you think you and Gaia can modify my Sunwing override to work on water wings?
The two machines do share a lot of similar code. We might be able to patch together a software update at the fabrication terminal. But we'll need some data from a water wing's ballast regulator and an intact wing membrane.
On it.
Guy and I will prep everything here in the meantime. Stay safe.
Seyka mentioned there used to be water wings near Fleet's End. The Zenith Tower we took down blasted them out of the sky, so I should be able to dive for the parts.
All right. Shall we take a boat? Well, this would be cool. If we like are literally riding this bird and then diving into the water, that'd be badass. Oh, what have we here? Excuse me.
Looks like some of the Quinn from Londra's bunker came back. I'm glad they came to their senses.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. What's up, dude?
It's you. Please, can we talk?
Hell yeah, we can talk.
Please, I need your help. I don't know if you remember me.
From the
We just met a day ago.
Ascension Hall, yeah. You weren't quite on board with Londra's message?
Yes. And it only got worse from there. After you left the bunker, everything fell into chaos. Most of us decided to grab whatever boats we could and come back here. But then Pyrrhic showed up, another one of Walter's thugs. He and his men tried to round everyone up. They got my friend Lon and took him away, and I couldn't stop them. Please, can you find him? The Admiral doesn't have the manpower to mount a search.
If I remember it right, Lon was more enthusiastic about Londra than you were.
Lon had a hard time on the expedition. He nearly drowned in the storm, and after we ran aground, he got very sick. He spent weeks in his bedroll, barely able to breathe, let alone move. I think for him, it seemed like Walter offered everything. Sustenance, comfort, salvation.
All an illusion.
It seemed real enough. For a time.
Yep.
After I left Londra's bunker, what happened exactly?
The camp fell into chaos. You killed Zeth, and he was the only one in contact with Walter. So when Brennick told us what he said, that Walter was done with us, we had no bearings. A group of us went for the boats, figuring that our only real choice was to come back here. That's when Pyrrhic and his goons arrived and started rounding people up. Before I knew what happened, they grabbed Lon. I shouldn't have left him behind. But Pyrrhic and his men were furious, violent even.
Leaving was the right idea. It wouldn't have done Lon any good if you got hurt.
I don't know. Maybe.
Where did you last see Lon?
On the shoreline south of the bunker. I was on the last boat to escape. Pyrrhic and his men charged us just as we set out. We barely made it. I hate to think of what they've done to Lon. Please, find him for me.
I'll do what I can.
Go to Lon's last known location. Okay. Well, we've got Lon to find and waterwing to be able to override in part 6. I realize this was a bit of a shorter episode. I do appreciate your willingness to watch it and to keep following along with the playthrough. This has been a fantastic DLC. I'm very much looking forward to the next episode. I unfortunately got to run. So before you leave a thumbs up leave a comment, follow the links down in the description. Come hang out with us on Twitch sometime. As you can see, I stream during the day sometimes. I post my schedule in Discord. So we'd love to have you around. Be awesome. It was great to have you all here. If you're binging, see you right here in the next episode. If you're waiting for the next one to come out, I'll get it out as soon as I can. You matter. You're awesome. I'll catch you on the next one.